Hello everybody, this is a video I never ever thought would ever be a thing. Well, mainly because I couldn't even conceive anyone coming up with it. So this is Duckside. No idea what the name means, apart from the fact you play as a duck. Now the reason it is on this channel is because it is a survival building crafting game. Go figure. This is going to be a first look. I'm not going to go too far into the game. What I can tell you is, so far, after a couple of hours, I cannot tell what I'm supposed to be doing. Literally building a base, and that seems to pretty much be it. Now, there were lots of problems when the game first released, to the extent where I did try and refund it because I tried 28 times to get in, and every time it got to the server list, it crashed. So I could not play. I was refused a refund. That's something that I can see why people get annoyed about with PlayStation, just because I downloaded it with 5 minutes of game time, which is actually 5 minutes of server time, in effect. No gameplay. Because I downloaded it, I was refused a refund unless I contacted their customer service, blah, 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 blah. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. But anyway, that's another gripe for another day. Once I finally did manage to get into the game, I don't know what I was expecting, but a duck wearing a military helmet was... Although it was on the images, I wasn't quite expecting to have that as the first thing I saw. So I'll put this into context. The start of this video was the start of the game for me. Literally, no character creation, nothing. You click on a server, you click to join the server, and that's where you begin, on a beach, as a duck, with a helmet on, and a pickaxe and an axe. Now this is a beta stroke early access. That again is another bone of contention, because I clicked on something that said trial, and it charged me £7.50, that I was not expecting. But either way, there are different versions of the game. There is a deluxe version as well, which includes some DLC. To be honest, if you can get the trial version without having to pay, I would definitely do that, because it does have its little flaws. And I'm not sure everything's working how it should. There is no story whatsoever from what I can tell. If there is, you have to find it yourself, but I don't know how to do that. There's no pointers. You're dropped in the... In fact, it's worse almost than Ark. Because Ark is kind of like the run for your life. You've got dinosaurs trying to bite your backside all the time. This, you kind of dropped into a world with a pickaxe already, with an axe already. And yeah, no explanation about what's going on. There's nothing weird about it. I haven't died yet. I can fly. I can swim, well, paddle on top of the water. I can't dive underneath water, even though ducks do that. But everything else is very crafty and very buildy. So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. As you can see from on screen, you have a menu-style crafting system. Now, I'm showing you this specifically because I'm trying to craft a base, and I have no idea how to get the foundations. So I can craft doors, and I can craft floor doors, but I can't craft the frame for them, which I thought was weird. So these are all available as soon as you jump into the early access game. Not understanding, there's no instruction, I can't find anywhere that gives me hints, there's no journal or anything. It's literally a crafting menu, an inventory, and you're left to your own devices. Now what I can say is that you do press a button to bring up the crafting menu. But to do that, you first have to equip your building hammer. Now I had created the building hammer, or crafted it I should say, but I had not equipped it at this stage. It's on my hotbar at the bottom, but yeah, forgot to equip it. I should know better, because there are so many games now where the building hammer is your way of accessing buildings. It is unbelievable. So none of this gameplay is sped up, by the way. So when this duck is waddling at 6,000 miles an hour, that is actually how quickly he runs. Just so you're aware. Now, it's not bad looking. It's not going to win any awards for its graphics, but it's definitely not bad looking. It's pretty unique in as far as you play as a duck. It's also pretty unique in as far as, from a traversal perspective, you can fly right from the start. You don't have to tame a creature or make wings or make a glider or anything like that. You can fly from the start. And when I say fly, I mean properly fly. You can glide as well, but that is just to regain stamina. So yes, while you're flying, if you go into glide mode, you regain stamina. So you, in theory, and in practice it's slightly different, but in theory you can fly forever. Now it does appear, by the look of it, that you can actually shoot an attack while you are flying, which is a little bit of an odd one, but something definitely worth noting. You have the traditional materials, so you'll have fibre, you'll have wood, you will have stone, you will have metal, you also have sulphur, alcohol, mushrooms, berries, and not much else that I have found so far. But that being said, the mechanics and the animations for mining and cutting down trees, etc. are pretty decent. There is a bit of an oddball in as far as when you go to mine stone using a pickaxe, it does say cut down. So maybe that will change in the full release of the game. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. There are certain things you craft in your inventory, as you can see. Again, this is where I was looking to try and build an actual foundation so I could start my base. But yeah, you basically have a lovely crafting menu with the basics. I believe as you create things and as you explore the world, you're going to unlock new items. I haven't seen any way of leveling up your character or getting new skills, so I'm not sure this has got any RPG elements in it at all. So unlike things like Ark, where you level up, you give yourself attributes, and then you unlock engrams as you level, this is very much a case of appears to be a case of you have these to start and you learn more as you go, but not through leveling. I'm possibly wrong. It is early access stroke beta, so it might actually change. So let's skip forward to when I actually work out how to do this. Here we go. So we've got the hammer equipped now, and it says L2. You have to press and hold it for some reason, and then use the left stick to highlight the thing that you're after. So we have foundations. Let's put 2 of those up. The snapping is a little bit weird. It feels very floaty, so it doesn't have a nice snap to it. It kind of almost elastic bands to each other, which is a little bit weird. So let's claim this. Now, interestingly, this thing has an offering bowl, and until decay, 0 minutes. Okay, very, very weird. So I don't know whether it's claimed until you put resource in there. But before you put resource in there, it just basically comes up with this until decay, 0 minutes in green. Now, you have to put wood or stone into that place. Now, I was trying to work this out at this stage, but basically when you click on something like wood or stone, the actual boxes in the offering bowl go green as well. So that's something to remember. It does basically mean that your base does degrade over time, which is quite annoying, but this whole game is based online servers, so that you can't, well, you can hire your own server, but you can't do a local game at all. And that brings me on to a couple of things that I dislike about this game. I will go through the things I like after. So the first and foremost is the whole always online server thing. Now I get this is supposed to be an online multiplayer survival game. I get it, I do. But sometimes you just want to play with friends only. And that was one thing I loved about the original Ark Survival Evolved. You could make a multiplayer game. You could put a second copy on a second console, run that as your dedicated server, and your friends could just join that server. Survival Ascended got rid of that, so you had to basically rent a server, and that annoyed me. And this is very, very similar. There is no single player component to this game at all. You have to play online. That is it. The server list is immense. Luckily though, as soon as you join a server, you can then just click continue when you rejoin the game and it takes you straight back to that same server. You don't have to go searching through the list and favourite it. If you want to play on multiple servers, then it's different. It will only allow you to continue in the last one you played. You will have to go searching for the other one. The other thing I'm not overly keen on in this game is you don't appear to be able to repair your items. Now, that's not a huge problem as such, but it does mean that you have to utilise full resources to make a new one every single time. That's a little bit irritating. You can see there, the third thing that I'm not overly fond on is the snap of the different building pieces. So it kind of like just rubber bands, as I said. So if I go for a wall on this now, you can see that when I attach it to the wall, it's kind of got that judder. So it almost snaps but doesn't, and when I move it kind of looks like it's trying to push away from the foundation, which is just really odd. And I don't know why they've done it that way. I mean, it works, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's not entirely brilliant. The other thing that it won't allow you to do, which I discovered later on, is it will not allow you to put any building piece down that interferes or interacts with the landscape. So for example, I expand the base out for the back of my current base. I haven't got video clip of it yet, but basically I tried to put a little side annex out of the side, but I couldn't because my base is positioned slightly too low for a rock formation that's behind my base. And because of that, the only way I could do it was to basically put a third section stepped up so it wasn't in line with the rest of the foundations, and I did find that extremely weird. You saw then that the door kind of doesn't really fit, and every time you try and open the door you have to set a code first. You cannot just open your door. So I might skip the door code. Don't want anyone breaking in, but once you've set your code, you can then open and close your door whenever you want, which is really weird because in every other game, putting a code onto a door means you have to use that code every time. Leaving a code off means you don't have to use a code. Whereas this, it seems that anyone who wants to enter needs a code unless they were the person who built it, which is quite a good system, but a bit weird at the same time. So things that I like. Obviously, it is a building crafting game. So I love the fact that it is a building crafting game. I do like the fact it's very unique in as far as you play as a duck. I mean, it could get really irritating really quickly. I'm not sure. I haven't played that much of it so far. But it's a unique take on the survival genre. I also like the fact that when you come to upgrade your base, you don't have to remake the walls. What you have to do is basically select your hammer, look at the part you want to upgrade, and click the upgrade option. If you have the materials available, it will change it to the next highest tier. That to me is really good system. I did miss one thing that I don't like. Now, I know there's a big thing about games holding your hand these days and not making you think about anything, and I get it. You know, there's certain things that you do have to discover yourself, how to play, where you need to go, etc., etc. I think the best way of dealing with that was in Ghost of Tsushima, where you didn't have icons on the map, you just had wind blowing in a certain direction to kind of direct you in a specific direction. But this doesn't have anything. I have no clue what I'm supposed to be doing. I've seen other buildings around. I've not seen any other players. I've not seen any other ducks. I literally have no clue what is going on. And that's quite disconcerting, because even in Ark, where you don't really know what's happening, you kind of stumble across things quite early on. And I don't know, it's a little bit different there, because you're almost trying to tame the creatures and just survive, whereas this doesn't feel like you're just trying to survive. It feels like you're trying to gear up to protect you from something. Don't know what, because I've had 0 combat in this game so far. Not one single fight. Now, I know that it's PvE, PvP. I think I'm in a PvE server. If I'm in a PvP server, I'm pretty much going to die straight away. But there's nothing. There's no other creatures. I've not seen any other birds. I've not seen any mammals. Nothing. And that is really disconcerting, because it almost means the game feels completely empty. And I get it, it's early access. Look, I'm not saying that that's what the final game is going to be like, because things can change quite rapidly when you have been doing an early access, because you get feedback from all of your players. That's the whole purpose. But even so, to release an early access game where there is no direction, no information, and nothing going on in the world, it kind of feels like they're just saying, please try our building mechanics. Which is fine if that's what the beta's for, but that should have been stated, especially as they are charging for access. So, final thoughts. I'm obviously going to carry on playing this, see where it goes, see if I can find out what's happening in the world, if I can find anything to do. I do have a lot of business trips coming over the next few weeks, so I might not be able to get many videos out other than my pre-scheduled ones, which do happen once a week. But yeah, I do sometimes like, especially with things like this where they're a beta, I do like to put out videos explaining how things are going so people can make an informed choice on when they want to download it or not. But I might not be able to get as many out as I would like. I was recording this on I think it's the weekend before it's going to come out. I didn't quite get time to release it the weekend because the unfortunate servers weren't working. So I think this will come out on a Monday, potentially. But yeah, I will play a bit more, and if I do find out anything, I will obviously do a further update video. But just to leave you with this little bit of info, I did mention before that if you use this box, you can see at the bottom it says decaying. So now I've put things in there. My base is decaying. Base is decaying. Wonderful. Basically means it's going to destroy itself after a certain amount of time. And this is one of the problems I have with server-based games. You have to play them constantly. If you don't, you're going to end up with nothing. This happened in a game that I actually really enjoyed playing, which was Citadel Forged with Fire, or Forged in Fire. And that was very Ark-esque, but with wizards, dragons and all that sort of thing. But I went away for a 2-week holiday, came back, and the base that had taken me weeks to build had disappeared. It had basically destroyed itself. Now, that for me is not fun. If I cannot go on holiday and escape and come back and find my base intact, what is the point in playing it? That was my biggest problem with that game. Likewise, it's something that I am really glad they did not add to games like Ark. Yes, you can have your base destroyed, etc., etc., but don't play PvP. If you play PvE, then none of that should happen. And I get that on official servers, they don't want people building a base and then never logging in, but have it sort of 60 days or whatever. I don't know. Don't have it destroyed over sort of 5 days. It just seems exceptionally unnecessary. Now, I do play V Rising. I have got a series coming up on that soon, and that also has the same thing. But that's even on a single player. Now, I don't play server on that, and when I play single player, it does say it's deteriorating and I do have to put resource in, but it pauses when I leave, and I have no problem with that because it's a single player game for me. I really don't mind, and even when I do play multiplayer, it's a co-op. So there we go. I'm going to leave it there. Overall, it's quite quirky. It's relatively fun. Don't put any money down on it yet because it's definitely it's either finished and not worth spending the money on, or it's not finished and wait for something new to come to the game so we can at least see exactly what we're supposed to be doing. I think that would be my main point. Keep an eye out. I will be putting more videos out, but in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you've enjoyed the video, please make sure you click the like button. Subscribe if you are new to the channel or if you haven't yet subscribed. And please do leave me a comment down below. Have you played this? What do you think of it? Do you know more about the story or what you're supposed to be doing than I do? If so, please let us know, because I'm sure the other viewers would like to understand that as well. And as I said, I look forward to seeing you for my next video very soon. You all take care. Bye for now.